Hello, this is Kelly and you're watching That Smells Divine. In today's video, I have 7 fragrances, 6 new to me fragrances, one that's kind of an OG, but 7 fragrances that I've received in the past 6 weeks in my Decant subscriptions, and I'd like to go through each of them with you and tell you my thoughts. Basically, this is maybe the second or third video in a series of videos called Purchase or Pass. So I'm gonna let you know how each of these smell. We'll briefly go over some notes. Of course, I'll put them up on the screen as well. And then I'll let you know if I feel like they're full bottle worthy or not. Before we get into today's video, I just want to put this disclaimer out. I feel like this needs to be said because I hear a lot about people going in blind buying fragrances that they've heard YouTube reviewers rave about, and then they're disappointed and they're out, $100, $200, sometimes even more. And so my personal recommendation, of course, do what you want, right? You're your own person, you get to make your own decisions, you're an adult. But my personal recommendation is to take what I say with a grain of salt. Fragrance is very subjective and it's very much about the individual's nose. And so what I think is absolutely beautiful might not be a fit for you. So I always recommend purchasing samples or decants to start with and going through that and really getting to wear test the fragrance before you decide if it's going to be for you or not. Down below in the description box, I've put a couple of links for my favorite places to purchase samples from. Some of those links are going to be affiliate links, so if you do purchase through them, I get a little bit of a kickback. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. All right, let's dive right in. So the very first fragrance that I want to talk about is BDK's Velvet Tonka. Now this is not a new fragrance, however it is new to me. I've been slowly making my way through the line. I haven't smelled everything yet, but I've smelled at this point all of the pretty popular ones. So let's give this a sniff. Okay, so Velvet Tonka by BDK. So this is definitely a powdery, kind of classic Tonka fragrance. It does have this really like clean, almost like cotton, like almost milky kind of thing going on. I also feel like there could be potentially some iris in here. I didn't look at any of the notes before I started filming. I have looked at them in the past, but I can't remember the notes for each of these fragrances. But to me, this is like a really clean, powdery, kind of almond, very smooth fragrance. The Tonka is really nice. There's something in there. There's something like uplifting everything. I feel like it's like an iris or maybe jasmine or some other floral in here. Yeah, this is nice. Like that's it. It's just nice. I don't think there's anything like groundbreaking about this fragrance. I know a lot of people absolutely love this. It has a little bit of like a, what is it? Givenchy L'Interdit, I believe. Kind of a similar thing, almost like a little bit of a lavender vibe, sort of. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are really going to love this. If you like powdery, almondy, Tonka fragrances, that I feel like this could easily be worn into the office. Like it's not gonna like bother anyone. If you're into that kind of like smooth, refined, sort of classy fragrance, I would definitely recommend getting your nose on this. I have not worn tested this at all. Like I've maybe sprayed it 2 or 3 times. So I haven't war tested it yet. I can't speak to the longevity or the performance. But for me, this just feels kind of boring. I don't know, this scent profile is just a little bit boring for me personally, so I'm most likely gonna pass on this. However, with that being said, with each of these, I like to give things a proper wear test and really go through the decant or the sample before I make a decision, because sometimes I'm actually really surprised after wearing it a couple of days, both ways. Like sometimes I think I love something and then I wear it and I'm like, actually, I don't know, after 3 days of this, I'm not loving it. And then sometimes I'm like iffy on a fragrance and then I wear test it for a couple days and I'm like, oh my God, I need a bottle of this. So we'll see. But as of right now, like I said, this is a really nice fragrance. If this is your scent profile, I would definitely recommend getting your nose on it. However, if you're not like super pumped about Tonka, kind of almond, yeah, kind of clean, but now there is something really pretty coming out. Hold on. There is something really nice coming out now, like now that it's dried down for a few minutes. To be continued. Okay, next up we have 2 from the same house. So I'm gonna do those back to back. These are from the house Bond number 9. Now these are the very first fragrances that I have sampled from Bond number 9, which I know is insane, but it just is what it is. So these were the first 2 that I picked based on other people's reviews, and yeah, they're the ones that I was like most interested in. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first one is called Nuit de NOHO. It's EDP, and this is the color of the juice. It's really pretty. I picked this one out because someone said it was very similar to Angel, which I am an OG Angel girl. Like, I haven't had a bottle since, I don't know, 1999, 2000. But yeah, I have not had a bottle of this in a very long time, bottle of Angel. And yeah, I was just intrigued because people said it was very similar. So let's give it a sniff. Yeah, this is very, 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 very similar. However, this has a little bit of a skank to it. The patchouli is a little bit sweaty and a little bit animalic. There's also a floral in here. I think the floral is what's making it feel a little animalic. Perhaps some jasmine. I have a hard time differentiating between my florals, but there's something in here. It's first of all lifting the fragrance a little bit. So like with Angel, it's very like gourmandy, patchouli, like chocolatey. It's a little bit heavy, like weight-wise, if that makes sense. This is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more floral. It's a little bit more crisp. You definitely have that patchouli, but again, it's kind of a skanky patchouli. Like, to be honest with you, it a little bit, this is my beef with this fragrance, is that a little bit smells like if you got out of the gym, had to like run really quick to happy hour, forgot your deodorant stick in your gym bag, and you were like, oh, I have this decant of Nuit de NOHO, whatever it's called. I'm just gonna spray over my gym sweat. Like, it kind of smells like you've sprayed this over your gym sweat. Yeah, so I don't know. I need to, again, give this a proper wear testing. As of right now, I'm like, yeah, it smells like Angel, but I'd rather have Angel because Angel smells way better. But again, I am gonna, yeah, give it some solid effort. I would say if you really like Angel and you don't mind a little skank and you wanted Angel to be a little less gourmandy, a little bit brighter, more floral, this might be up your alley. For me, again, I'm gonna wear test it, but as of right now, this is a pass. Okay, next up from the same house, we've got one called New York Nights. Now, I got this because I heard someone say it smelled like banana bread pudding. No, banana bread. So I gave it a whirl, and let me give you my thoughts. And yes, they were correct. It smells like freshly baked banana bread, but with walnuts. There's a very like nutty, gourmandy thing going on here, which is interesting because when you look at the notes on Fragrantica, like the notes are a little bit surprising. This also has a little bit of like a fluff to it, like a Baccarat fluff, but more of like an Ariana Grande Cloud fluff, if you know what I mean. It's just the fluff. It's like that burnt sugar, sponge sugar kind of fluffy fluff. It's like a whisper of something. Just the texture of it is like a whisper, like a, you know, poof of air. It kind of has that texture to it. Yeah, this is really pretty. So as it starts to dry down, there's some florals that come forward. Really funny story about this fragrance. I told Ian about it and I was like, it's supposed to smell like banana bread. So when we pulled it out of the bag, like the day we got it, he wanted to spray it, and then he started like stealing it, you know, to spray more. And I was like, this decant is gonna go away really fast. And so one day we were like in the living room and I was on my computer and I was like, let's look up the notes of New York Nights. And I was like, oh, it has lots of florals in it. Wow, it's primarily a feminine fragrance. And he was like, done, like just immediately. And I was like, that's all I need to do is just tell him if there's a floral note listed, he like won't wear it. Like he's such like a manly man, meat and potatoes, you know. But yeah, this is really pretty. I'm not sure, again, I'll put the notes up here. I can't remember what the florals are. I've seen it. But to me, I definitely can smell that there's florals in here, but to me, this is primarily like a sugary, nutty fragrance. And it's really pretty. My problem with this is I did wear test it a bunch and it just didn't really, I don't know if I'm like a nosmic, but it just didn't perform the way that I wanted it to. It was more of like a skin scent, like a personal bubble experience, which I'm not super into those. I want to project, I want to take over a room, I want to turn heads. Like that's just my preference with fragrance. So this is nice. If someone made a dupe of it, I'd be down for a dupe. I think the reason is like, because I like it a lot. Like I like it enough to get a full bottle of it if it was only like a $50 bottle. But for however much these are, like $250, $300, it's definitely a pass. But if you like those kind of sponge sugar, fluffy, sweet, kind of gourmand with like a light touch of floral, if you like that, I think you're gonna love this. I really think there are gonna be people that absolutely love this. So definitely go ahead and sample it. Okay, next up we have one that I've spoken about many times on this channel. This is not a new to me fragrance, but I had to get another decant of it. So it was in one of my subscriptions this month. And this is one of my absolute favorite vanilla fragrances. I talk about this in the comments of like everyone who does a vanilla fragrance video and doesn't talk about this because I feel like no one knows about it. So I'm like, you gotta try it. It's definitely not for everyone, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous, especially for those of you who really love the combo of vanilla and juniper berry and maybe a little citrus. Like, you're gonna love this. It's kind of like a fresh vanilla versus like a sticky sweet gourmand vanilla. And for those of you guys that want a fresh vanilla that's perfect for the fall moving into the winter, this is gonna be right up your alley. I'm not gonna share the story about this fragrance because I shared it on a previous video. It might have even been my last video. So go ahead and watch the last video because I think it's on that one. But this is none other than ARQUISTE Architects Club. It is absolutely gorgeous. I need a full bottle. I'm getting a full bottle. It's on like the top of my list. This is just so pretty. It's got this like lemon peel situation happening at the top, very citrusy. It's almost got this like oiliness to it too that quickly dies down in the dry down. But yeah, up top it's primarily a citrus fragrance. You can definitely get the vanilla right away. It's gonna be more like citrusy, lemon peel, oily, juniper berry up top, and then this slowly melds into this beautiful smoky vanilla fragrance, and it stays intact. Like, these top notes that you're smelling are still there for the duration of the fragrance. They just kind of like take a back seat to the vanilla. It is so pretty, you guys. Like, it's such a unique vanilla. I haven't smelled Gypsy Water yet, so like I know I'm like super behind the times with not having smelled that. I have a feeling that they might be similar just based on the notes, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Just smelling this fragrance brings you into the experience of like, it's cold weather outside, you're in a super cozy like jazz bar or a library or a lodge or something where there's like a fire, like you can hear the fire crackling, and like whatever type of building you're in, that like it's like wood, it's got wooden elements to it, and you might be like drinking a hot cup of tea or like having a cognac or something, and you're like reading a book, you can hear the fire crackling. Like, it's a very stark imagery that comes with this fragrance. And again, that might be from my own personal experience with it. Go ahead and watch that video if you want to hear the story. But this is just so comforting. It's so soothing. It's so beautiful. It's so refined. It's so classy. Like, you could wear this at home curled up on the couch reading a good book in front of the fire, or you could wear it to like a holiday gala. Like, this could be dressed up, a winter wedding. Like, it's just beautiful. I love this house so much, and I feel like they're pretty well, I know like they're not underrated, but I feel like they should be talked about more. They're literally my favorite fragrance house that I've ever discovered. I just think that Carlos Huber, I hope I'm saying his last name right, he does such an excellent job of like recreating a time and a place with scent. Like, it's such artistry that he does, and he comes from an architecture background as well. So yeah, I think architecture. Yeah, so he just does such an incredible job of really capturing the feeling and the experience and the time and place that he wants you to think of when you smell the fragrance. So, okay, moving on. Okay, next up we have a fragrance that is new to me. I'm very excited about this fragrance, you guys. I'm just gonna put it out there. So this is by the House of Beau, and it's called INFINITOUD. I think I'm saying it right. And it's interesting. I had like such a different expectation of what I thought this fragrance was gonna smell like, and when I sprayed it, I was like, oh. So let me just spray a lot because it's so good. Okay. This is so pretty and magical. Like I can't even open my eyes. I'm in like a different dimension right now. It's like myrrh and maybe some patchouli, probably some guaiac wood, some sort of like resin or something. There's a very, very, very light, beautiful oud in here. It is so incredibly intoxicating. I gotta like separate my own scent memory here. If you like woodsy fragrances that have a little bit of a resinous quality to them and maybe a little bit of like a citrusy thing going on, or if you're one of those people that really enjoys the kind of combo and the dichotomy, to use my big words, of like between patchouli and citrus, I think this is gonna like completely light you up. This is such a pretty fragrance. Like this is everything that I want in a fragrance, and I have a very unique, I'm very unique in that my ideal scent profile is a little different. It's a little bit more masculine and in sort of like a fresh way, without, not talking about like freshy designer fragrances, but this more like woodsy, citrusy, not super sweet. Like this isn't a super sweet fragrance, but it also has something pulling it down, the sweetness. So I think it's like a resin, or it could even have like frankincense or something. But this, you guys, this is just absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely the perfect fragrance to wear in the summer, or to wear when you're like visiting Mexico by the beach. Like it's not a beachy fragrance, but just, it kind of gives that vibe. I'm thinking mostly of Tulum, like the jungle meets the beach, and like there's copal, and it's got kind of this like woodsy, sexy, like kind of hippie vibe to it. Yeah, so my problem with this, and I don't know yet if it's a problem, it could be, but when I put it on my skin, it seemed to have disappeared, and I only tried it once. I need to play with this more, but if I can get good performance out of this, this is definitely going to be a full bottle, because this is one of the most beautiful discoveries I have made this year with fragrances. So definitely get your nose on this. This came from Scentbird. If you have a Scentbird subscription, you can get a decant of that. You can also try some of their other ones as well. I tried Lamar. I really liked it. Again, it was a performance issue, so I need to continue to play with that, you know, when the weather gets warm again. But so far, these fragrances are gorgeous. Okay, moving on, we have one that really took me by surprise. I did not read the Fragrantica reviews or hear anyone review this before I tried it. So this is Patchouli 24 by LABO. And if you have smelled this fragrance before, then you know exactly what I'm gonna say. If you haven't, and you're a patchouli lover, don't get too excited. Let me tell you why. I maybe should have waited last for this one, but this fragrance is a straight up smoke show. It's literally the smell of barbecued meats. Yeah, it smells like my house is on fire, and in like the most dank barbecue-y way. Like I don't know how else to describe it, and I want so badly to like this fragrance because I don't know, I just wanted to like it, and I'm still trying to like it, but as of right now, it smells like a fire. Like not in a good way, not a campfire, but like this smells like panic. Like my house is on fire, or my arm is on fire, because it kind of has this like barbecued meat flesh thing going on. Like, I don't know what the deal is with this fragrance. So when I wore test it, the one and only time, I waited and waited and waited and waited for a patchouli note to come through on the dry down, and nothing happened. And in fact, I walked by Ian in the kitchen and he was like, oof. That was his response. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know what's up with this fragrance. This is definitely a pass. If you want to smell like legit fire, like not fun, smoky, sexy, forest, you know, whimsical, magical fire, campfire, like, yeah, if you want to smell like barbecued meats, then here you go. But for me, I'm all set. I mean, like, that might be your thing. It's totally cool if that's your thing. To each his own. I am not here to judge, but I'm telling you, if you're looking for a patchouli fragrance, that is not it. Okay, and we're gonna end this off on a positive note. So this is one that I don't remember how I discovered it. It could have been from Sebastian's channel. And I went down the rabbit hole on Fragrantica, and sometimes I will go, I always hear about a fragrance from another reviewer, and I immediately go into Fragrantica and read the reviews. I take everything with a grain of salt. However, if I see a trend of like 50 reviews of people being like, this is a hidden gem, this is a sleeper, this is the best thing ever, this is a masterpiece. If I see the word masterpiece over and over and over again, or if I see people that write these like super poetic, like basically love letters about a fragrance, my attention is in, like, my ears are perked. And so that's what happened with this fragrance. It is by Boucheron, and it's called Ambre d'Alexandrie, butchering. And let me tell you guys, I don't think it's a masterpiece, but I think it's a beautiful fragrance. And I could see why some people would think this is a masterpiece. If you like Kilian's Angel Share, you will like this. This is like Kilian's Angel Share, like accidentally got hooked up with a bottle of amber, and this is the result. Now, why I don't think it's a masterpiece is because I think it's a little bit, dare I say, generic. Not like generic, but I don't think there's anything groundbreaking here. Again, it's a beautiful fragrance. Like, I might even get a full bottle of it. I do really like it. I just kind of went into this after reading all those reviews, and like everybody's calling it a masterpiece. I can't remember if it was Fragrantica that I was reading the reviews on this one, because sometimes I just do like a plain old Google search, you know, or like Reddit. Anyways, a lot of people were raving about this. I think that this would be absolutely gorgeous on a man. It's got this like kind of boozy, sugary, ambery, almost like smoky thing to it. Almost, it's very sweet and syrupy and boozy and like rugged. It smells like a sexy man at Christmas. So yeah, it's a great fragrance. I have been trying to get Ian to wear it, and he's not into it for some reason, which is bizarre to me because this is like totally up his alley, but he's like on a cherry tangent right now. But yeah, this is really pretty. So like, purchase or pass? I don't know. I might purchase. Like, I do really like this, and I've worn it a bunch, and it wears great on me. I haven't worn it out and about, so I haven't like gotten any compliments. I've mostly been wearing this at night when I'm like curled up on the couch and I just want to feel cozy. But yeah, if you like amber and you like Angel Share and you like kind of like boozy, thick, sweet fragrances, definitely give this a shot. I think it's beautifully well done. I think it's very well done. I think it's beautifully blended. For me, it's nothing like, it's not stopping me in my tracks. Not much does, but you know, we have high expectations. So anyway, so that's Ambre d'Alexandrie by Boucheron. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments. Please give this video a like. If you would take the time to subscribe, that would be amazing. I really appreciate all of the support. We've got some exciting videos coming up on the docket. We've got a Boozy Gourmand video. We've got a Cozy Tea video. I've got lots of amazing videos in the works planned for you guys. I'm super excited, and I hope that you stick around. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching, and what am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? I have no idea. Did I shave my armpits? Yes, I did. Did I shave my armpits? Yes, I did. Did I shave my armpits? Yes, I did. Woo! Okay, this is a weather forecast. Look how cute I look with my little microphone. This is a test to see if this microphone is working. I don't know. Am I supposed to be plugged in somewhere? I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm too old for technology.